Welcome to the Kemp IT Law vlog. I'm Richard Kemp, and this vlog takes a quick look at liability clauses in IT contracts and suggests a 5-step approach to addressing the issues that arise. It's one in a short series of 3 that looks at the linked areas of liability, indemnity and warranty. Nothing captures IT lawyers' attention quite like the liability clause, the place in the contract where risk is allocated. Supplier and customer come at this question from opposite standpoints. The best the supplier will ever do is get paid the price, so it wants to limit downside risk. The customer gets the upside risk, but if it goes wrong, will want to recover the loss it suffers from the supplier. The liability clause is where these 2 different viewpoints are thrashed out, and this vlog offers a 5-step approach to taking the pain away from the discussions. Step 1. Put 4 corners round the contract and make sure it clearly sets out the parties' rights and obligations. This means getting to clarity about the express terms, what's on the page, about whether any pre-contractual statements are given contractual effect, and about whether implied terms, duties that English law applies to the contract unless they're expressly excluded, are in or out. Step 2. Recognise the types of liability that by law can't be excluded or restricted, like liability for fraud or for negligence causing injury or death. Step 3. There's a category of indemnity liability that market practice can recognise as unlimited, typically covering claims for infringement of intellectual property rights. Other indemnities that this may apply to include breach of confidence, personal data and cybersecurity, and sometimes regulatory fines resulting from breach. English law distinguishes between consequential loss and direct loss. Step 4 is that UK market practice generally recognises that consequential loss can be excluded altogether, although the borderline between consequential and direct loss is fuzzy. There are loads of cases, for example, where loss of profit has been argued to be both, and careful drafting here, as in the whole liability clause, is key. Remember also to call out negligence liability as well as contract and tort liability. Step 5 is to address direct loss, which is generally either wasted expenditure, rewind to the beginning, or the cost of getting an alternative, wind on to the end. In either case, direct loss under English law is normally self-limiting, typically to somewhere between 125% and 175% of the contract value. So, very quickly to summarise. Step 1. Put 4 corners round your contract terms. Step 2. Recognise what liability by law can't be limited. Step 3. Decide if there's any indemnity liability that won't be limited. Step 4. For what remains when you've filtered out steps 2 and 3, decide if consequential loss is going to be excluded. And step 5. When you've filtered out consequential loss liability at step 4, decide if direct loss will be limited to between, say, 125% and 175% of the contract price. If you want to see the other vlogs in this series or find out more about IT contracts, check out our website at www.kempitlaw.com.